Well, Jenna, look, arrogance is usually off-putting. But arrogance is always off-putting when you're not playing well. And that was just pure arrogance. All right, first of all, he goes at the fans. That's the first thing. How do you go? You never win, Baker, by going at the fans. And if you didn't know it, they really do pay the bills. Because if they stop attending the games, if they stop buying the merchandise, you stop getting paid the millions that you're making. It does you no good to go at the fans, especially when you're not playing well. And there are reasons for the fans to like you. You got them to the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. First victory in nearly 3 decades. All right, you're playing through injuries. You're showing toughness. All of that. There are reasons for them to like you. Your progressive commercials are great. But you go at them like this, and they will turn on you, especially when you're playing some of the worst football of your career and some of the worst quarterback in the league. That's number one. Number two, you go at the media. I don't owe you guys anything. Well, first of all, that also is a shot at the fans because the media is just the conduit between you and the fan. The fan wants to know, what were you thinking during the game? What did you see during the game? Give us some insight into what happened. You can even use the media to get your point of view out. But that is about the fans. It's not about reporters. They're just giving the fans what they want to keep them involved and excited about the game. So he went at the fans a few times with that. He obviously also went at the media. I say it all the time. Look, the media... media is objective for the most part. But when you get them on your bad side, it doesn't help you at all. All right? The media vote for these awards a lot of times. So you don't need to go at the media. You don't need to go at the fans. You just need to, at points, he tried to accept responsibility. Take the responsibility. You didn't play well. Accept it. But you don't need to be shooting bullets at the fans especially, but also at the media.
So here's the problem. Because you mentioned 2 of the 3 groups that matter. You have the fans, you have the media, you have your teammates. I'm wondering if Baker has many allies left in any group. The media has been pretty harsh on him from the very beginning. Now, I primarily blame Colin Cowherd for that, but it's not just my buddy Cowherd that has been hammering Baker since he was at Oklahoma. He rubs some people the wrong way with the gesticulations on the sideline in college and the kind of devil-may-care attitude that people don't tend to love from their quarterback. So the media has always been somewhat split in regards to him. Then you have the fans. And the fans in Cleveland had been very protective of Baker. Well, that is starting to wear away and turn the other way, pardon me. And he's just wrong when he says the only people he was essentially saying the only people booing were the dumb fans. The fans that don't even understand be quiet when we're on offense. Right. That's just an unforced error, just like skipping the press conference was an unforced error. If he comes out at the press conference and says what he said there, this isn't really a story. If he says, I want to make this clear. I'm happy we won. I'm furious with myself. I put my teammates in a bad position. They had to fight harder than they should have because I played poorly. And then there's the teammates part of it, which is Baker has always projected, we inside this locker room are United 53. The outside noise doesn't matter. Well, it would have been nicer if a few more of that United 53 would have publicly and vocally taken his side when Odell was flaming him on his way out, or Odell's, camp was flaming him, instead of seemingly, siding with Odell or, voting in absentia. I'm going to stay out of this on that. And now, Wilds, you have a spot, and this is what I find very interesting. They have back-to-back games against the Ravens. They go Ravens by Ravens. That's the Browns' next 3. Lamar and Baker were drafted in the same draft class. One guy went number 1, one guy went number 32. Lamar and Baker both are awaiting contract extensions. Lamar just missed an NFL game with a cold, sick of some sort. nobody criticized him. His team came this close to losing to the Bears because they didn't have him. The previous week, Lamar was playing and they lost to the Dolphins. Lamar's built up, though, enough equity with most of the media, certainly with the fans, and definitely with his teammates through his play and the way he kind of engenders loyalty. No one criticizes him. Baker, on the other hand, is playing through a litany of injuries, and it's working against him. One guy is going to get the massive contract extension this offseason. One guy is not. So I think Baker is, all of a sudden, when you look at Baker Mayfield allies, it's his wife, Bernie Kosar, and the ladies from the Progressive commercials, and that's about it. It's not a great place to be, Wilds.
Add me to the list. I am now Team Baker with one tiny switch. I think this is all a marketing problem. I think whoever is handling Baker's business needs to go. You're out of here. You know why? The Browns are 6-5. The Browns have the same record as the Colts. The Browns have one more loss than the Buffalo Bills. Why aren't those teams falling apart at the seams? Same record. Exact same record. Baker is making an issue with the media after a win, after a gutsy win that the Lions, I know the Lions have not won a game, and I personally thought he should have sat down, Nick. But you won. You get up there, just like you said. He said, you know what? I didn't play my best, but that's why we're a team. And that's why we're 6-5. And the fans were a little bit on me, but hey, I work for you guys. I'm going to do better. But with the only thing that matters in Cleveland and in my heart is winning. And that's why we're 6-5. My goodness. You and I, Nick, our favorite teams, the Chiefs and the Patriots, are 7-4. And we're out here. I'm out like the dynasty is back. And you're like, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We got one more win than Baker. Yeah. That's it. So I don't understand why people are going crazy for poor Baker. It makes no sense.
Because I think I can explain it. And Broussard, tell me if you agree. I think it's his play on the field has obviously been beneath the standard he set last year. Like, he has not played well. The other reason is we do look at the schedule and we say the Browns the rest of the way, they have the Ravens twice, they have the Steelers, they have the Packers, they have the Bengals. That's 5 of their final 6. And I think people look at it and say, yeah, they're 6-5. Do we think they're going to make the playoffs? Not with that schedule. Do we think they're going to go 2-0? Like the 2 games against Baltimore are going to be the turning point for one of those 2 teams' season. Broussard, you and I had the Browns in the AFC Championship game this year, and even though they're still alive, given how they've played on both sides of the ball, to be fair to Baker, I don't think either one of us right now thinks they're likely to even make the playoffs. That's why I think it's hard to hang your hat on we're 6-5, because I think even inside the building, they know that record might turn on them pretty quick.
Well,
absolutely. You can't be pumping your chest out because you're 6-5. Indianapolis is 6-5 is a lot different. All right. Even Kansas City 7-4 is a lot. For all the flack they caught early in the year, now with the win streak, that's different too. No, I'm serious.
It's one more. It's one
the
more.
Browns aren't
they went to the
well.
Super Bowl, so that
the Browns
the
just
team
got
that went to the Super Bowl is now
by your
7-4.
Patriots.
That's because Patriots
45-7.
Oh, Wilds. but just real quick to respond to Wilds. In a 17-game season, the margins are usually, we're halfway through a 17-game season. So one win is actually a big difference. That's first of all. Second of all, we do tend to be a little yo-yo-ish in what have you done the last month. You mentioned the Chiefs and the Patriots. They are on the 2 longest winning streaks in the league right now. So their 7-4 feels way different than a Browns 6-5 who just got waxed by the Patriots and eked out a win against the Lions, right? Like, it feels different, even if the records aren't that different.
Agree. But Stefanski has lost control of this ship when there is a tumult within the locker room after a win. The Steelers tied the Lions, and it wasn't like, what's happening? Maybe it was a Mason Rudolph thing. But still, you got to win, move forward. It shouldn't be this big drama after a win.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.